Well, hello everyone. I'm Mary Teresa Duggan, and I'm a trained teacher, a certified breath practitioner, and the author of a book titled Miracles, the Magic of Life, showing how the power of the breath can transform anything that people want to change in their lives, whether it's relationships or health issues or money, spiritual awareness, meditation, inspiring you to live and radiate your own truth, to live and radiate your divinity. And I have here with me Karen Downing, and Karen's mission is to bring compassion to humanity as the soul's facilitator. Her mission is inspired by an energy named Aurora, a higher spiritual energy, guiding Karen in all the work she so generously does with her clients to transform their lives, who in turn will create true and lasting transformation in the lives of others. We would love to hear about Karen, herself, and the work that she does. So it is with much pleasure and joy that I introduce Karen Downing. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to have you, Karen.
Oh, I'm so pleased to be here.
Thank you. And Karen, with all this experience and all the work you're doing with clients and their energy as well, and when you hear the words fullness of life, what does that mean for you?
Well, it really encompasses everything. It starts with the spiritual part of us, because I truly believe that once we have that fullness of our own divinity, as you so beautifully said, that divinity radiates from within, it really touches every other part of our life, and we're naturally going to find that place of peace when it comes to our family life and our finances and our work and career path and really everything else. But it starts with going within and determining what fulfills me on the inside. What is my soul calling me to do? What is it asking me to fulfill for myself and also for the world? And as we start to make those steps, we naturally align ourselves with those other areas of life where if we need to make change, we will, or if we are already where we need to be, we can just sit back and let go of a lot of that stress and worry, because we start to connect with that knowing that, oh, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I don't have to worry about getting there anymore.
That makes life easy, doesn't it?
Well, most of the time, yes. Sometimes we all have bad days, but most of the time, yes.
That's right, Karen. So, Karen, can you ever think of a time when you didn't feel that fullness of life?
Well, absolutely. The part for me that really started me on this journey was not feeling that fullness of life. I was in a job that was fine. It paid the bills, but it wasn't fulfilling to me. It was long hours, and I was doing the same thing every day. It wasn't advancing my mind. It wasn't advancing my heart, and I did feel stifled and stuck. And it was during that time that I started to do some learning on different spiritual matters, started to spend more time and energy developing my own spirit. And it was from that I was able to move into a place that was much more aligned with it. But absolutely, I think that when we feel anything that is against that fullness of life, it is an inner calling that's saying, hey, it's time to make some positive change here. And that's exactly, I absolutely have felt it.
Yes, that's amazing, Karen. So when you are in a place, would we call out of balance, meaning here mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And we know that if one's not doing enough or one's doing too much, we're out of balance with ourselves and the universe. And when you're feeling out of balance, Karen, what What do you normally do to get yourself back on track?
Well, it depends on what part of my body's out of balance. If I'm just feeling physically off, I'll actually do some Tai Chi. I really love doing Tai Chi and how it makes me feel, and it starts to connect the physical body with the spiritual. If I'm feeling off emotionally, what I do, I actually go and watch some TV shows that make me laugh. It's nothing finer. We have these entertainment things available to us, and they're okay to use to bring us back in balance. And sometimes I just need that me time to go laugh at something silly, a movie or a TV program. So actually, those are two of the biggest tools that I use. And then the third one being sleep. Sometimes I'm just overall out of balance. And if I am that way, I know that I just need to catch up on sleep and taking care of myself.
Yes. And we feel so well when we're in balance, don't we, Karen?
We feel almost invincible. I mean, it's a beyond wellness kind of feeling, because you have this ability to be feeling unlimited in your energy, I should say. And so it's like you can move from one thing to the next very easily. And so when you are out of balance, it is quite important to bring it back around to feeling that way once again.
Yeah, it really is. So when somebody else comes to you, Karen, and they're struggling with issues, how do you handle that?
Well, there's a variety of things we do. First, I just start out with having a general conversation, because what I've discovered is that oftentimes what somebody might think the issue is just a symptom for something that's a little bit deeper. So we try to take that conversation to a deeper level until we reach either a fear, a doubt, or some type of hesitation that the person has been holding on to for a very extended part of time. Sometimes going to childhood, and I believe also in the power of past lives. So we look at it in that level as well, trying to figure out what the source of that fear or that doubt is. Then we work at overcoming it.
Right. Do you want me to ask the question about your higher spiritual energy? I love that concept. And how
Sure.
Yes. So what is Aurora for you?
I would say Aurora is a spiritual guide. Some people would call her an ascended master, if people are familiar with that term. I prefer to use the term higher energies, because there's so many beautiful energies in the spiritual realms that are working with us. Archangels, angels, ascended masters. And it's we, the humans, that want to give them these titles. They're not over there saying, you have this title and you have this title. They're just working with us from this beautiful place of helping us to connect with our hearts. And so she, for me, has been my guide through intuition, prompting me to start the website and create videos if that's what I need to do, or to write a message if that's what I should do, and all of these things to help provide those words of guidance for anyone who's on this path of finding that, as you said, that fullness of life, of finding that balance within themselves, and giving just one of many ways to start that road to get there.
Right. Yes. It must make your work feel so inspiring, to be inspired by Aurora. It's not just all your head, is it? It's coming from your whole being.
Correct. And, it's when I first started doing this work, I had a little bit of a difficult time kind of reconciling that, because, to be truthful with you, I was a very logically minded person. Prior to coming into this work, I was into the realm of math and science, and everything had to have, evidence. And when you work with a spiritual being, the evidence isn't always what the logical mind would like it to be. And so it did take some time to really come to peace with that in the beginning stages, mostly from what other people would sense or feel or see in her presence when she was with me, because she's not with me all the time. This is, I, Karen, am somebody that's totally different from Aurora. But when she's with me providing that guidance, many people report a feeling of my energy changing, or they can see a change in the colors around me, or the timbre of my voice will also change. But I don't notice this. This is something for me that took some time to get accustomed to. And, it's a beautiful system having that guidance in place, and something that each and every person can have. There are so many beautiful higher energies that are ready to work with us, but it's usually us as the human that gets fearful about, well, I don't know who that person is, because maybe we didn't grow up in that particular religion, or we're not familiar with their name or things like that. So it takes some time to develop that relationship. Yes. But it's just a wonderful, wonderful guidance system.
Yeah, I can see that. I can sense it. I can feel it. When I tuned into you from your website just before this interview, I really felt an energy then. And so it does radiate, and it connects with other energies like that within the universe, doesn't it? And
absolutely.
And if we're open to receive, they're waiting for us. Yes, thank you for putting that out, Karen. That is wonderful. So, Karen, how do you choose to express and experience your abundance, your joy, your love, your energy?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. It happens so many different ways. Sometimes it will come through in doing the spiritual work, where it is expressed in a video or a podcast, or through the messages, as I've talked about. But also, too, it just happens being out in nature. And, there's nothing finer than just being outside and connecting with the trees and the animals. And you can just feel that joy and that peace and abundance. And you're not there to do any work or to receive any messages. You're just there experiencing the joy of it all. I think that's probably one of the finest ways that I experience it. But it happens in heartfelt conversation, and it happens when you are, participating in any activity that brings enjoyment. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it feels right in my heart. That energy is just there to connect with it in the right way.
That's right, Karen. So you mentioned earlier that like I'm into the breath and the breathing, mm-hmm. and you would be that as well. Like to come back into your inner being, would you use the breath, or what would you use to bring yourself back into the center of your being?
Oh, I definitely use breath to do that. It's wonderful to simply just sit and connect, because that's really what it is. And in fact, I use that often in my own meditations, or if I'm facilitating meditation, just as a part to bring people into that relaxed state prior to guiding that meditation, so that they can connect with the whole being, not just going into meditation as the spiritual part and leaving the emotions over here. We want to bring everything into the meditation. Yes. So, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm always amazed, how it can bring us out of our head, and just into the fullness of our inner being. That means, the whole lot, doesn't it? But it's just a breath, it's so simple. And yet it's been there since the beginning of time, and it's there for every person who breathes, and it is so simple. Karen, is there anything else that you would like your listeners to know?
Yes, I just would like everyone to know don't underestimate your own inner power and your own inner divinity. This is something that we all are born with. We just have to take the time to tune into it and cultivate it and allow it to grow, not to diminish it. And, each one of us has the power to do that through many tools, through breath, through meditation, through connecting with a wide variety of things that fulfill us on an inner individual level. So just as long as everyone ensures they just take time to do that at least once a day, you're going to start growing that more and more and more. And it's just so important.
Thank you so much, Karen, because I actually feel that you really are living what you are preaching, living what you are saying. And it makes a very big difference, doesn't it? Not do as I say and not as I do, but
Right. Yes, it does make a big difference.
Well, many, many thanks, Karen, for this. I know your listeners would have received so much from what you had to say. So thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much.